Okay, so let me get this straight. Trump? Again.
Ah.
Seriously.
Honestly.
It's like we're stuck in some cosmic rerun and the universe just hit play on like the most chaotic season ever.
You think this is chaotic?
Yeah.
Just wait till you see how the rest of the world's reacting.
Oh, God.
Buckle up, Buttercup. We're going global.
Global freakout, man. That's our
Yeah.
jam, right? Like the world's this giant popcorn machine. And America just poured a whole lot of crazy kernels in.
Yep.
Everyone's just waiting to see what pops.
Speaking of popcorn,
Oh.
grab a bucket.
Okay.
This Al Jazeera article breaks down the global reaction.
Got it.
And let me tell you,
Got it.
it's a wild ride.
Hit me with it.
Okay.
What's the flavor profile? Sweet and salty. Spicy and unpredictable.
Oh, it's got it all.
Oh.
We've got the ecstatic crew over in Israel.
Wow.
Netanyahu and his posse are practically doing victory dances.
Seriously.
Talking about greatest comebacks.
Oh, my God.
And God bless Trump.
Wait, hold up. Netanyahu's back?
Yeah.
Again?
Again.
Is this dude like a political boomerang?
Apparently.
You throw him out and he just keeps coming back?
He does. And he's brought his far-right buddies along for the ride.
Oh, God.
Ben Gaffer, this guy who's been convicted of inciting racism and supporting a terrorist organization.
Wow.
He's over there saying, God bless Trump.
A vibe.
Dude, that's messed up, but also kind of hilarious in a dark, twisted way.
Is.
Like the world's gone full satire
Yeah.
and we're all just living in the punchline.
Right.
It's like we're watching a political reality show directed by David Lynch.
Yeah,
Everything's surreal, unsettling, and you just can't look away.
exactly.
Okay, so we've got the thrilled to death camp in Israel.
Yep.
What about everyone else?
Well, Qatar and Egypt are playing it cool.
Yeah.
You know, all diplomatic and stuff.
Sure.
Hoping for peace and stability.
Right.
But between you and me,
Yeah.
they're probably low-key relieved.
Peace and stability.
Mm.
That's code for status quo, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just glad they're not dealing with someone completely unpredictable.
Exactly.
Trump's a known quantity, even if that quantity is kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like choosing between a familiar monster and an unknown one lurking in the shadows.
Deep.
Deep, man.
Really deep.
Really deep. It's like the world's this giant therapy session, and everyone's just trying to manage their anxiety.
Speaking of anxiety,
Oh,
let's talk about Iran.
okay.
They're just chilling, saying their policies are steady, regardless of who's in the White House.
Wait, Iran?
Yeah.
The guys we're always beefing with?
Uh-huh.
They're not even sweating this time.
Nope.
Seriously.
Almost dismissive, actually.
Uh,
It's like they're watching a bad movie for the second time and they already know how it ends.
whoa.
Yeah.
That's some next level chill.
Yeah.
But hold up. Didn't Trump promise to, like, wave his magic wand and solve the whole Gaza thing?
Uh-huh.
What's Hamas saying about his triumphant return?
They're calling BS, basically.
Yeah. They're bringing up all those old claims about ending the war instantly, and they're like, yeah, right. Let's see if he can actually back that up this time.
Ooh, burn mic drop moment right there.
It is.
So we've got the diehards, the cautiously optimistic, and the straight-up skeptical.
Yeah.
What's the rest of the world looking like? Are they losing their minds?
Well, China's doing their usual consistent policy thing,
Okay.
which basically means they're not showing their hand.
Right.
They're like the poker player with the perfect poker face.
Classic China.
Yep.
Always playing the long game.
And then there's Ukraine.
Okay.
They obviously want peace.
Yeah.
But Zelensky's not getting his hopes up.
Right.
He's seen enough to know that things can change on a dime.
Smart dude hope can be a dangerous drug in international politics.
It can.
But wait,
Oh.
you haven't mentioned the big bear in the room?
Oh,
Russia?
yeah.
What's Putin's take on all this?
Oh, Putin's got thoughts, all right.
I bet.
But he's not even bothering with congrats. He's basically declared the U.S. an unfriendly country.
Wow.
But get this.
What?
Medvedev, the former president, he's the one with the real zingers.
Spill the tea, sister.
Okay.
What do you say?
He's basically saying, Trump's useful because he hates wasting money on hangers-on
Okay.
and stupid hanger-on allies.
Damn, shots fired.
Right.
So Russia's throwing shade, the Middle East is a whole mood, and China's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers?
Yep.
What about, like, Europe?
Okay.
Are they having an existential crisis?
Europe's always having an existential crisis. But yeah, they're pretty divided.
Okay.
Some, like the UK and NATO, are all about shared values and strength through unity.
Got it.
But others are more like, let's just wait and see what this guy actually does before we freak out.
Fair point. It's not like Trump has a great track record of, not blowing things up.
Exactly. But there's some interesting nuggets in the reactions.
Okay, like what?
Well, France wants to work together with respect and ambition. Hungary's calling Trump's win a much-needed victory for the world.
Oh, wow.
And Turkey.
Yeah.
They're just hoping this means an end to all the regional wars.
Turkey wanting peace that's either incredibly naive or incredibly optimistic.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's like they're holding on to a tiny sliver of hope in a world that's gone completely bonkers.
Speaking of bonkers, let's do a rapid-fire round of the rest of the world's reactions.
Okay.
Hit me with the highlights.
All right, buckle up.
Okay.
Australia's all about stability in the Indo-Pacific.
Got it.
Germany's pledging to work for prosperity and freedom, whatever that means.
Yeah, sure.
India wants to strengthen their partnership. Pakistan wants to broaden their relationship. And even El Salvador's president sent his congrats.
El Salvador.
Oh, no.
Dude, that's wild.
It is.
So the world's basically reacting to Trump like he's a giant piñata filled with both candy and grenades.
Pretty much nobody knows what's going to come out, but everyone's watching with a mix of fascination and terror.
Man, what a time to be alive. Or, maybe not. This is giving me some serious existential whiplash.
Yeah.
I need a minute to process.
Same here. Let's take a break and dive into the domestic fallout next because, let's be real,
Okay.
things are about to get really interesting or maybe just weirder. Who knows at this point?
It's the Trump show, baby.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
I know.
Except logic, common sense, and basic decency.
Okay, we're getting sidetracked.
Okay.
Let's take 5 and come back for part 2 of this wild ride.
We've got a whole lot of crazy to unpack.
We do.
Okay, so we've established that the world is officially in freak-out mode.
Yeah.
But let's zoom in on the good old U.S. of A.
Okay.
How's everyone handling the news on the home front?
Well, to borrow your popcorn analogy,
Yeah.
it seems like America's got 2 giant buckets.
Okay.
One overflowing with celebratory fireworks and the other filled with, well, let's just say survival supplies.
Dude, you're not kidding. It's like the country split down the middle half, dancing in the streets, and the other half building bunkers in their backyard.
That's right.
It's crazy.
This Al Jazeera article doesn't get into the specifics of those reactions.
Okay.
But it does point out the deep divisions that this election has exposed.
Right.
And it's not just political.
Yeah.
It's cultural, social, generational, the whole shebang.
It's like we're speaking different languages, man, or like living in parallel universes that somehow got mashed together.
Yeah.
We're all breathing the same air, but our realities are miles apart.
That's a really interesting way to put it, that sense of disconnect, of being alienated from your fellow citizens. It's a real problem.
Problem is a freaking epidemic, man. It's like this virus of distrust that's eating away at the fabric of American society.
That's a powerful image. And it makes you wonder, if we can't even agree on a shared reality, how can we possibly move forward as a nation?
Dude, you're asking the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need to hit the reset button on this whole democracy thing. Like, go back to the drawing board and come up with a system that doesn't make everyone want to tear each other's throats out.
I hear you, but I don't think starting from scratch is the answer. What we need is to find a way to bridge these divides to rebuild the trust that's been eroded.
Okay, I'm listening. How do we do that? Because right now it feels like we're standing on opposite sides of a giant chasm, screaming at each other across the void.
I think it starts with small steps. Maybe instead of screaming, we try talking like actual conversations face to face where we actually listen to each other instead of just waiting for our turn to yell.
Whoa, revolutionary. I know, but seriously, that's a good point. We've lost the art of dialogue, man. We're so busy trying to win the argument that we forget to actually connect with each other.
Right. And maybe, just maybe, if we start listening, we might actually learn something.
Yeah.
We might realize that the people on the other side aren't monsters. They're just people who see the world differently.
Deep, man, deep. It's like we need to find a way to humanize each other again. Remember that we're all in this crazy thing called life together, even if we disagree on how to navigate it.
Exactly. It's about finding common ground, even if it's just a tiny patch of earth in a vast field of differences.
So how do we connect these global freak-out vibes with the whole domestic meltdown situation?
Okay.
Is there like a grand unified theory of chaos we can apply here?
Maybe not a theory, but definitely a connection. The world is looking at America right now and seeing a nation deeply divided, a nation struggling to hold itself together. And that image, that perception, it affects how they interact with us, how they perceive our power, our stability, our place in the world.
Whoa, dude, mind blown. It's like our internal struggles are spilling out onto the global stage, and the world's watching with a mix of amusement, concern, and maybe a little bit of morbid fascination.
Exactly. It's like America's this giant reality show, and the rest of the world's glued to their screens waiting to see what crazy twist comes next.
Man, what a messed up show it is. But hey, at least it's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
In a terrifying, edge-of-your-seat kind of way.
I guess you could say that, but the question is, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
How do we write the next chapter of this story?
Dude, you're asking the tough questions. I'm just trying to hold on for the ride at this point.
Fair enough, but maybe that's part of the answer, right? Acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, embracing the uncertainty and figuring it out as we go.
Deep, man. Deep. You're like the Yoda of political analysis.
I'll take that as a compliment, but seriously, this is uncharted territory. We've never been here before.
Which is kind of exciting, right? In a terrifying, existential kind of way. It's like we're all pioneers on this crazy journey, and we have no idea where we're going or what we're going to find.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so important to stay curious, to keep asking questions, and to be open to new perspectives.
You know what? You're right. This whole thing's a trip, but we're in it together. And who knows? Maybe we'll even learn something along the way, or maybe we'll just end up completely bonkers. Either way, it's going to be a wild ride.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Right. We're back. Brain's still buzzing, still trying to wrap our heads around this whole Trump 2.0 situation.
It's a lot to process, that's for sure. But I think there's one crucial element we haven't fully explored yet.
Hit me with it. What's the missing piece of this crazy puzzle?
It's the question of agency.
Okay.
We've talked about global reactions, domestic meltdowns, philosophical whatnots.
Yeah.
But what about you? Where do you fit into all of this?
Ooh, meta moment, fourth wall shattered.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. It's easy to get lost in the big picture and forget that we're all individual players in this cosmic game.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's so important to end this deep dive with a call to action.
Okay.
Because just sitting here analyzing, pontificating,
Yeah.
it's not enough. We need to translate all this knowledge into, like, actual doing something.
Okay, I'm digging this. So what's the plan? Stan, give me the steps.
Well, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. You know, it's like everyone's got their own unique path to walk. But I think it starts with looking inward,
Okay.
asking yourself, what are my values? What do I believe in?
Yep.
And how can I live those beliefs, not just talk about them?
Deep, man. Like soul-searching deep.
Yeah.
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Which, let's be real, is way harder than it sounds.
Totally. And that walk, it might look different for everyone.
Okay.
For some folks, it might mean getting more involved in politics, volunteering for causes they care about, or having those tough conversations with people who see things differently.
Right. Making your voice heard, but also actually listening to other voices, even if they're saying stuff you don't want to hear.
Yep.
Which, let's be honest, can be super uncomfortable.
No doubt. But sometimes the most powerful action is simply refusing to be complacent.
Mm-hmm.
It's about rejecting apathy and embracing that responsibility that comes with being a citizen, you know, even in a democracy that feels like it's hanging by a thread.
So we're talking about taking ownership, being proactive, not just letting the world happen to us, which in this current climate feels like a monumental task.
It is, but the future isn't set in stone.
Okay.
It's shaped by the choices we make both individually and together.
Yeah.
And those choices, they matter.
Dude, my brain just did a loop-de-loop. You've officially upgraded my existential operating system.
Happy to help, but remember, this is just the beginning.
Right?
The real work starts now.
Okay.
So go forth, dear listener, and be the change you want to see. Or at least, you know, try not to make things worse.
Solid advice on that note. I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this roller coaster of emotions, insights, and mind-bending realizations.
The pleasure was all mine. And hey, stay curious, stay engaged, and never stop questioning. The world needs your unique brand of awesome, even if it doesn't know it yet.
Peace out, everyone. And remember, your choices matter, especially in times like these. So go out there and make them count, even if it's just choosing kindness over chaos.
Well said. Let's hope that's enough.